What happens when Hollywood gets so desperate to defend a movie that celebrities start attacking their own audience? Because right now, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is turning into something nobody expected, not just a controversy, but a full-blown PR nightmare. And the craziest part? It's not even the movie itself causing the damage anymore. It's the celebrities opening their mouths trying to defend it. Tom Hanks, yes, that Tom Hanks is now under fire after launching into a political rant against critics of The Odyssey, accusing millions of people of being racist simply for questioning Hollywood's latest race-swapping decision involving Helen of Troy. And now, fans are furious. Social media is exploding. And people are starting to ask a very serious question: why does Hollywood always blame the audience whenever backlash happens? Because this situation is getting uglier by the hour. And honestly, the more these celebrities talk, the worse they make it for Christopher Nolan, Universal, and even themselves. So in today's video, we're breaking down Tom Hanks' controversial comments, the growing backlash surrounding The Odyssey, and why many believe Hollywood still hasn't learned its lesson after disasters like Snow White. And if you enjoy deep dives into Hollywood chaos, celebrity meltdowns, and entertainment industry hypocrisy, hit that subscribe button and let's get into this mess. There is absolutely no denying at this point that Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is sitting in a very uncomfortable position right now. For months, Nolan was being praised as the guy who could do no wrong. Every movie he touched turned into an event. Studios trusted him, fans respected him, critics worshipped him. But now, for the first time in a long time, Nolan is finding himself trapped in the middle of a culture war that is rapidly spiraling out of control. And according to many fans online, a huge reason for that backlash revolves around the decision to cast Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy, a move that immediately sparked debate across social media the second rumors started circulating. Some people defended it, others criticized it, but instead of simply allowing audiences to discuss the casting choice normally, Hollywood celebrities immediately went into attack mode. And that's where Tom Hanks enters the picture. Now, what makes this situation even more interesting is the fact that Tom Hanks has dual citizenship. He's both an American citizen and a Greek citizen, which is why he suddenly decided to position himself as some kind of spokesperson for Greek culture in this debate. But instead of calming tensions down, Hanks basically poured gasoline on the fire. According to reports and statements now spreading online, Hanks aggressively pushed back against critics of The Odyssey, accusing many of them of being racist, politically motivated, and part of some larger right-wing outrage campaign. And this is where things started going completely off the rails. Because the second celebrities begin labeling everybody they disagree with as racist, MAGA, or extremists, people stop listening to the actual argument and start focusing on the arrogance coming from Hollywood itself. That's exactly what's happening here. Tom Hanks reportedly claimed that people criticizing the race-swapped version of Helen of Troy were targeting Lupita Nyong'o unfairly, and that many of the complaints were rooted in racism and misogyny. He also defended diversity initiatives in Hollywood and argued that roles should not be limited based on traditional depictions. Now, regardless of where somebody stands politically, this is where many fans say Hollywood completely loses the plot, because audiences are not stupid. People know the difference between genuine storytelling and obvious corporate messaging. And whether studios want to admit it or not, viewers have become extremely sensitive to anything that feels forced, artificial, or politically engineered. That's why this backlash isn't disappearing. And honestly, Tom Hanks going on political rants during the middle of a major press cycle is probably the last thing Universal wanted right now, especially because this movie already had enormous pressure attached to it financially. Christopher Nolan's films are not cheap. The Odyssey is expected to be one of Universal's biggest projects, and when controversy starts overshadowing the actual movie itself, studios begin panicking very quickly. And according to many people online, that panic is already showing. Because now it's not just Tom Hanks defending the movie. More and more celebrities have started jumping into the conversation, attacking critics and accusing audiences of intolerance simply for questioning casting decisions. But here's the problem with that strategy. Hollywood keeps assuming that insulting the audience will somehow make the backlash disappear. It never works. In fact, if Hollywood history has taught us anything over the last few years, it's that attacking your own audience almost never ends well. Actually, it usually pours gasoline directly onto the fire. We saw it happen with Disney multiple times. We saw it happen with streaming platforms that kept prioritizing online activism over storytelling. And now, many people believe Universal may be stepping directly into that same disaster zone with The Odyssey. Because the real issue here is no longer just about one casting decision, it's about the growing perception that modern Hollywood has become completely disconnected from regular moviegoers. That's the conversation exploding online right now. More and more audiences feel like whenever they criticize a creative decision, instead of studios listening respectfully or simply explaining their vision, celebrities immediately jump to political accusations. Suddenly, anybody questioning a movie becomes problematic. Anybody criticizing a casting choice becomes racist. Anybody disagreeing with Hollywood gets lumped into some giant political category, and once that happens, the discussion completely changes. Now, the conversation is no longer about the movie itself. It becomes about arrogance, about ego, about celebrities talking down to everyday people as if the audience is the enemy. That's exactly why social media erupted after Tom Hanks's comments started circulating online, because this instantly became much bigger than just Helen of Troy. People began asking whether Hollywood intentionally hides behind identity politics anytime criticism appears. And honestly, whether somebody agrees with that idea or not, there's no denying that more audiences are starting to feel that way every single year. You can literally see the frustration building across social media platforms. A huge number of fans are now pointing to previous Hollywood controversies as evidence that audiences are simply getting tired of constant race swapping, heavy-handed messaging, and identity-first marketing campaigns being inserted into already established franchises and stories. People immediately brought up Disney's Snow White. Others mentioned HBO's Harry Potter reboot and the backlash surrounding Snape. Some even started comparing it to multiple streaming shows over the last few years where studios appeared more focused on political optics than actually respecting source material. And from the audience perspective, many viewers feel like the same cycle keeps happening again and again. Hollywood changes an established character. Fans criticize it. Celebrities attack the fans. The media labels the backlash toxic. And then studios act shocked when audiences lose interest. That's the pattern many people believe they are watching repeat itself in real time with The Odyssey. Now, to be fair, there are absolutely people defending Christopher Nolan and defending Lupita Nyong'o. Some fans genuinely believe classic characters should be reinterpreted in modern ways. Others think internet outrage culture has amplified this controversy far beyond what it should have become. And yes, there are many viewers who simply do not care about the casting debate at all and just want to watch a good movie. But again, that's not really the main issue anymore. The issue now is the reaction coming from Hollywood itself, because once celebrities start insulting millions of viewers, they risk transforming ordinary criticism into something much larger and far more dangerous for a studio: resentment. And resentment absolutely affects box office numbers, especially in today's entertainment climate where audiences already feel overwhelmed with subscription services, rising ticket prices, streaming fatigue, and nonstop political messaging in entertainment. People are becoming far more selective with what they spend money on. And when viewers feel like celebrities openly dislike or disrespect them, many simply choose to stop supporting the product altogether. That's why industry analysts and online commentators are watching The Odyssey so closely right now. Not because Christopher Nolan suddenly became a bad filmmaker overnight. Far from it. Nolan is still one of the most respected directors working today, but audiences have become increasingly unpredictable whenever politics starts overshadowing entertainment. And that unpredictability terrifies studios, because all it takes is one controversy spiraling out of control for months of marketing to suddenly become toxic. And honestly, this entire situation is becoming especially awkward for Tom Hanks personally. For decades, Hanks had one of the safest reputations in Hollywood. He was viewed as America's nice guy, the universally respected actor, the guy almost everybody liked regardless of politics. That image took years to build. But over the last several years, more and more viewers have started feeling like Tom Hanks has shifted away from simply being an actor and closer toward becoming a political spokesperson. And whether that perception is fair or unfair, honestly doesn't even matter at this point, because perception itself shapes public opinion. That's the reality celebrities often forget. Once audiences begin associating an actor more with political lectures than entertainment, backlash becomes almost unavoidable, especially when every controversy somehow turns into another moment where celebrities appear to be scolding the public. Because this is the fundamental problem Hollywood still refuses to understand. Most people do not want to be insulted while also being asked to buy a movie ticket. That combination almost always backfires. Viewers don't mind disagreement, they don't mind debate, but they absolutely hate feeling talked down to by celebrities who live in completely different worlds from everyday people. And the moment audiences feel disrespected, they push back hard. That's exactly why so many entertainment brands have struggled over the past few years. Fans are exhausted. Exhausted by constant political fighting, exhausted by identity-based marketing, exhausted by celebrities treating criticism like some form of hate crime. And the more Hollywood doubles down, the more resistance starts building online. Now maybe The Odyssey still becomes a massive success financially. That possibility absolutely exists. Christopher Nolan still has a gigantic global fan base, and his films always attract attention. But at the same time, the controversy surrounding this movie is undeniably becoming much larger than Universal probably ever expected it to become. Because instead of talking about the cinematography, instead of discussing the story, instead of building excitement around Nolan's vision, the internet is now consumed with debates about race swapping, celebrity arrogance, DEI politics, and whether Hollywood has completely lost touch with audiences. That is not the kind of conversation studios want dominating the marketing cycle of a billion-dollar blockbuster. And if celebrities continue escalating tensions instead of calming them down, this entire situation could easily evolve into one of the biggest PR nightmares surrounding a major Hollywood release in years. At the end of the day, though, audiences will make the final decision. That's how entertainment has always worked. People vote with their wallets, people decide what succeeds, people decide what fails, and one thing is becoming very clear right now. The more Hollywood attacks the audience, the more the audience pushes back. And Tom Hanks may be finding that out in real time. Let me know your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future Hollywood breakdowns and celebrity controversies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.